Right then. Hello. We'll let it sizzle a little bit. Shall we begin? I mean, as long as you can hear me. That's the main thing. Can you hear me? I'm gonna take the pog as a yes. Great. Thank you, Amy. Right. Let's begin, shall we? Ah, there you all are. Look at you all. I don't know. There you are. Let's start. Let's show off the model, right? Because I was gonna do that with tweets, with retweets, but I only got to like the show off the knee. It's a bit of a shame, but you know, we make do. Polly, hey, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Right. So he's somewhere up here. There we go. Shoes first. Oh, I'm moving. I'm moving a little more than I thought I was. Okay. Gotta take that into account. Still. Right. Those are shoes. These are trousers. They're nice smart trousers. They got that crease on them. I like that crease. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why we've got it. It's not bad though. Oh yeah, little detail. So hand reveal first. Oh my god. Yeah. That is based on a real ring that I own, and maybe one day, calm down, maybe one day we will get into the story of that ring, maybe even later today, but for now, here's my jacket, my nice little lapel pin, my shirt with the texture. It's how do I describe it? It's like a cross between like a dressing gown and a regular suit jacket, and it was inspired by a very specific outfit worn by frontman of a band in like one video and one live performance in the 70s. Sparks is the name of the band. Good band. I've been getting into them recently. So it is. Oh, you can see the little bits of hair. Hello. But now it is time for the moment you've all been waiting for. And here he is. Hello. Yeah. So that's me. It's the boy, it's me, it's... Hello. Yeah. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I hope you like the model. By Kurabox Studio. I'm very thankful to them for... what a good job they've done at what I think is a really good price. You'll see I've got my hair is dyed. That's a reference to the fact that my hair isn't this color in real life. I thought that was nice. My eyes are brown, but they're not like this kind of brown. They're a lot darker. What else? There was something else I was going to say, and oh, yeah. Oh, thank you very much for triggering the alerts. We'll get to those in a bit. I'll be showing all of them off, but yeah, for the moment my sub alert is that video of the waffle falling over. I just thought it would be funny. But Maybe I'll get some like, more custom ones at some point. But for the moment, it's the waffle. Thank you. Luigi Hat Kid, I'm glad you like it. Don't change it? Okay. I was kind of hoping it would have like a cult following as well. Right, so what I was going to show you is this. Ooh, ooh. Glasses. Schmancy, right? Schmancy. Nerd alert. Yeah. Thank you, Amy. Nerd alert. Christ. Fucking unoriginal joke alert. Jesus. Tough crowd. Tough crowd. There we go. Ooh, I want to come down a little bit. Be a little small. There I am. Oh, Luca Knight, thank you very much. Right. Now I have a presentation for you all. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to talk about what I want to do in the stream. I'm going to talk about what I like to do. And I'm also going to give a little schedule for the first few streams I'm going to do. While I'll be playing, and I'll show off the alerts like I mentioned. So, okay. Let me readjust that. A bit, up a bit. There we go. Left a bit. There we are. That'll do. I'll do nicely. If I lean forward, it will start covering the thing again. I don't know. That'll work for the moment. And if I lean forward, I can adjust it. Right, let's present, shall we? This is my presentation. I made this to thank you. Who was that? Starfax, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I am enjoying hearing the little sound of the waffle hitting the counter. I'm down with that. This is Pigeon's personality and preferred pastimes PowerPoint presentation. I thought it would be funny. That's a justification for a lot of what I do. I thought the alliteration would be funny. You can see I did a really bad drawing of myself there. I can't draw. I can do a little bit of pixel art. I didn't do the emotes. Those are by Ileana Gatto. But I can do a little bit of pixel art. I can't draw. So that is about the extent of the skills. The alliteration is reminding me of. Don't remember the film Mrs. Popper? No, Mr. Popper's Penguins. Mr. Popper's Penguins. Jim Carrey was in it. He was Mr. Popper, and there was this one character who alliterated every sentence she said with a lot of sounds. Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking of her at the moment. I think was she like Mr. Popper's secretary or something? Anyway, shall we begin? About me. My name is Pigeon. You can call me Pidge if you want, but I'll, either way is fine. Some people have called me Clever before. I mildly prefer Pigeon. You can call me Clever if you want, but it does sound a bit what's the phrase? Like, it sounds like I think a little too highly of myself if I call myself Clever, I feel like. And it kind of sounds like if people were to call Iron Mouse Iron. Like, it could work, but that's the adjective, that's not the noun. Age 25. I've determined that that is boomer terms. I apologise if there's anyone. I know there are a few people in here at least, but I apologise to anybody who is older than me who happens to be watching this at any time, because I've probably made you feel a little bit sad. But I've determined that I think in the streaming world now, and in the VTuber community, being 25 is a little on the older side, which is weird, because I remember being a kid on the internet and there were adults around, like on the Minecraft forum or whatever, and now I'm the adult and all the little kids running amok, and now I'm looking at them fucking kids. Well, I'm not quite thinking I don't mind the kids, you know. The kids are all right, as one might say, but yeah. Now I'm the old one. Nationality British. This may be funny to some of you. You may have noticed my accent. I know that, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, people found my kind of accent sexy, and some people probably still do. But yeah, now it's now it's a source of mockery. I've seen a lot of streamers mock the British. That's the in thing now. So, I mean, you're free to do so, I guess. So, have a, I don't know, have fun. Birthday. Oh yeah, birthday. My birthday is the 18th of October. That means I'm a Libra. For those who care. I don't particularly care or hold any stake in astrology, but yeah, I'm trying to pad this out, right? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that's my birthday. Pronouns. Oh, that's important. Yeah, he, him. I am a standard man. So nothing too exciting, but there you go. That might be important for you, but, well, it should be important for you to note that. So there you go. Height. Oh yeah, I put this in. I'm 5'5", and that's my real life height. I am barely 5'5". I am short.
Starfar gifted a tier 1 sub to Polyhead.
Oh. Thank you, Starfax, and welcome, Ollie, to I don't know, the community comprising my subscribers. I don't have a name for them, and I don't really want a name for them. I feel like it's a little bit naff. It's a little bit cliche, and I'm not sure about it. But at the same time, if I try to subvert it, that just becomes the name of my sub community anyway. I should call them tiny little guys. Should I? Call us the Roost. I mean, I don't want to lean too hard into the pigeon thing. I'm not actually a bird. I could, but I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. The nest, yeah. We'll find out. For the moment, you are just a flock. Oh God. For the moment, you are just, I don't know, subscribers. Oh, blood type. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know my blood type. I'm not aware. I could probably find out. I'm not sure how exactly. I could probably find out, but I don't know my blood type. Oh yeah, I put that in. Again, I don't hold much stake in this, but you know, about me, why not? INFP-T, which I can't remember exactly what it stands for. I don't actually think it matters, but apparently it's the same one that Björk has, and I like Björk. I like her music. I like her style. So that's nice. Share something with Björk, even if it is something pretty meaningless. Stuff I like. Let's talk about the stuff I like. Music. I like music. I am a musician. I play the drums. I also play a little bit of the violin. We'll talk about that later. Chocolate. I really like chocolate. I eat too much chocolate. Video games, especially indie ones. So before I was a VTuber, I've done a bit of game dev work, but I've also been a speedrunner. And I really focused on indie games. I really like what indie games bring to the table. I think it's a damn sight more interesting than what AAA are doing for the most part. Trying to learn languages and about linguistics. Yeah, I've tried to study various languages in the past. None of them usually successfully, unless they were for like, school. But you know, maybe Duolingo streams in the future. That'd be quite interesting. Technology. Really tempted to donate on the name None lol. Well, I mean, you could. It would probably show. I think it would show the donation amount. I think that's how I set it up. So it might not quite have the same effect. But if you want, you know, feel free. Technology. I like technology. I used to. Christ, it was like 10 years ago now. But I used to be really big into following what was going on in the mobile phone world, like Android and iOS and such, and laptops as well. I still keep up with it a little bit. At the moment, I'm into audio technology a little bit. I don't really call myself an audiophile. That's not how I think of it. But I find the technology interesting, and I like that. I like active noise cancelling. I have the fan going right now because I decided by accident to make my debut the hottest day of the year so far in England. So I've got the fan going. I think the noise suppression is working quite nicely, but you might be able to hear it when I speak, I'm not sure. So active noise cancelling for headphones, good. I like that. Good. Random trivia, I like random trivia. I've had various books of random trivia in the past. Once, when I was a kid, I had one and it told me about the like myth of the doppelganger, and if you meet your doppelganger, die. And I got really scared of meeting my doppelganger. Had trouble sleeping for a few nights after reading that. Had to avoid that page in the book so I didn't see it again and make myself panic again. It was page 99 in that book. I remember clearly because I would avoid the page in the book when rereading it. Oh, hype train. I received a hype train emote. Thank you for the hype train. That is I'm really grateful for that. That means a lot to me. And it's nice to reach a milestone like that, especially on the debut stream. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Oh, I tabbed out the thing. Yeah, that's what I do. Watching cooking videos on YouTube for stuff I won't ever cook. So I like to think I'd start baking stuff. I like cake. I like all of that. I like baking with chocolate, you know, because I like chocolate. But I save a bunch of recipes and then I never make them. Yeah, Adam Ragusia, regular haunt. There's this French pastry chef called Bruno Albouze. No, Bruno Albouze makes a lot of stuff with chocolate. Is a good pastry chef. That was not my best French accent. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But Bruno Albouze, he's great and he's very charismatic as well. Learned what a caramel à sec is from him. Did I tab out again? By accident. Oh, fanfiction, yeah. I forgot I wrote that I like fanfiction. Yeah, I don't mind fanfiction. I only really have read... I've read a few other things, but mostly I read Amori fanfiction because Amori I've been fixated on for like 18 months. And I also wrote some Amori fanfiction, which was nice. It's nice to have something that, you know, you care about that much you want to make a story out of it, because I felt like I owed that game something after I was finished with it, how much it meant to me. So I'm not like the biggest fan fiction head in the world, but you know, for Amori I'll do a lot. Stuff I don't like, getting up early. Yes, I'm not a morning person. My friends know this and can vouch for this. Hopefully, having to get up and like prepare for streams will help. Although this is an evening stream, so it didn't. But maybe I'll do some earlier streams, and that will help me like get up at a better time because I have to get ready. Not having any more chocolate left. I get like I start to crave chocolate after a few days of not having chocolate, which I don't think is great. I'm sure it's the sugar, but it's not wonderful. Excuse me a second, I need to take a drink. Amy, same, Amy. Yeah, it's not great when it's hot and all the chocolate melts, right? Like today. Oh yeah, I think, by the way, I noticed this a little while ago. If I tilt my head back, I kind of look high. I noticed the other day, thought it was funny. If I tilt my head forward, I look angry. So, yeah. I don't know. If I get an iPhone and do the tracking with that, I'm sure it'll be a bit more accurate. But at the moment, just a webcam. The fact that stuff costs money, yeah. I'm grateful to not be in a horrible position money-wise, but you know, it'd be nice if I didn't have to spend it. Nice if it didn't have to be a thing to think about, you know? That'd be wonderful. Scenes where the animal dies. Oh yeah. I don't like scenes where the animal dies in things. Like, I play a bunch of horror games and I'm fine, or perturbed a bit, but not like completely put off or triggered by a fair number of pretty rough things, but pet death, no. I was reading on TV Tropes about a visual novel called The Fruit of Grisaya, I think you pronounce it, and it had a load of like horrible backstories in it that went into detail about like some pretty awful things. But the thing that made me think, actually, I don't want to play this game, besides the fact that I just read the whole plot, was there's a scene of pet death in it. All the other stuff, that's fine. The pet death, the cat dying, I'm not having that. I'm not playing that. I'm not interested anymore. Oh yeah, I experienced this earlier actually. I realised I forgot to set all of my bit sound alerts to the actual prices I wanted them at. So yeah, I don't like it when it feels like I've forgotten something important, because normally it means that I have actually forgotten something. Chloe, thank you very much for coming by. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. How are you doing? How are you all doing, by the way? I'm not sure I asked. But it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Phone screen protectors? Phone screen protectors. When I wrote this, I was trying to put a phone screen protector on my phone. You're melting? Yeah. Same. Phone still 28 degrees. I don't know what temperature is it where I am. What does my phone say? Otherwise good. Nice. My phone says it's 27 at the moment. Ooh. Yeah, I was trying to put a phone screen protector on my phone. I was trying to put a screen protector on it because I'd cracked the last one, and I tried twice and I fucked up both of them. So phone screen protectors can fuck off. I'm not using them again. Fucking hate them. Even with the applicator thing they've invented, pieces of shit. Too much nerves for fucking too little help. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, it's great when it protects your screen, but fucking I've dropped various phones in my life a bunch of times, and like not actually cracked the screen, and then I dropped my phone with the screen protector on it, like a short distance by accident. Well, not on purpose, of course. And it's cracked. And the screen underneath it was fine. So I don't know. I mean, it's good for protecting from scratches, but I'll just, I don't know, I'll deal with it, I guess. Screen protectors, I hate them. Having to go to bed, yeah. I get up late and I stay up late. It's not great. So like, when I'm sure a lot of people feel this, but when I'm in bed, I don't want to get out, and when I'm out of bed, I don't want to get in. So I'm up at the small hours of the morning listening to music on YouTube or something. Yeah, fair enough. Because yeah, I've never had to deal with the handbag thing. I say it like it's weird. Like I've never had a handbag. What kind of phrasing is the handbag thing? But yeah, I suppose compensating for not putting pockets in women's clothing, right? From various female friends of mine, I've heard about that. I think they're getting a bit better with it, but like recently, but not a whole lot. Just occasionally, as like a pocket that's usable. But I think like when I was in school, maybe 8 years ago, it was real rare. It was real rare for usable pockets to be in women's clothing. Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, they're working on it. Well, some people are working on it really slowly, but they'll well, I don't want to say they'll get there because they might not. You can't, like, I don't know. I don't want to have faith where it might not be, where it might not be. What's the word? Yeah, I don't know. It might not be right to have faith in them just yet, but some of them are working on it. You know, some of the designers out there. Having to get out of bed. Oh yeah. Well, I preempted myself there, didn't I? So that's about me. I think that's everything here, unless I filled the rest of the space with... No, okay, lore. So lore, a lot of VTubers have lore, right? So I thought it was important to go into detail about what this character is, what he represents, where he comes from, like, to, you know, make a big impression, right? And there is no lore. There is none. There's a vibe, there's an aesthetic. I like Vaporwave, so I've vaguely seen this around Vaporwave. I like mixed media stuff, mixing like photos and drawings. So I took a bunch of public domain photos to make my stuff from Flickr and from Unsplash, but I have no lore. It's just me. It's just I'm chilling. Hello. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'd have more lore in the future, but at the moment, I'm good. It's just like, it's me. I was worried it would be like a distraction if I wanted to talk about more serious things or talk about my life, because it would be like, because if I wanted to talk about my life, if I wanted to talk about growing up, and say I'd gone with the obvious angle of being a bird man or something, excuse me, I'd like have to talk about, or when I was in school, but you know, bird school for birds, right? I didn't want to really keep up the pretense, and I know a lot of streamers with lore just will drop the pretense when it doesn't matter, and they'll keep it around for fun at other times. But I thought I'd either do one or the other, so I chose the other. Video games. Oh, you gave Maddie sunglasses. Oh, that's not a bad fit. Maddie, where are you? That's my cat, Maddie. Well, our cat, Maddie, but she lives with me because she's very nervous, and we have a lot of other cats. Cleaning herself at the moment. Maddie, you got sunglasses. Sunglasses, Maddie. Yeah, she didn't respond. Video games. Let's talk about video games. Because that will be part of what I'm doing on stream, right? That tends to be what Twitch streamers often do. Not always, but often. Video games. The kinds I like. I like RPG horror. That's a relatively recent thing, like in the last 2 years. But I like Eve. I haven't played the remake yet, but I really liked the original. I like The Witch's House. I never played the original of that. I did play the remake of that. Very pretty game, The Witch's House. Very sad. A lot of jump scares. Good stuff. I say like I enjoy jump scares. I don't particularly enjoy jump scares. I used to be awful with them, but you know, I've learned. And Off, which is probably the weirdest game of the. Oh no, I missed Mad Father. Mad Father. Now that's bad for jump scares. I'll tell you what. Mad Father's good. Good story. Good. I don't know. It's just good. Good. And Off. Off is a weird game. And it's like a little bit more depressing than horror, but I think horror comes in there a bit. I recommend playing that, and all of those games can be played for free, I believe. Like Eve, The Witch's House, and Mad Father now all have remakes that are paid and on Steam, but I think you can still get free versions of them. They might not be the most recent ones graphically, or perhaps they're missing extra content or something, but you can get the games for free. Metroidvanias. I like Metroidvania. I haven't been playing so many of them recently, but I am a fan. So I like Owlboy. It's not a typical Metroidvania. It's not hugely platformy, but I do feel like it is a Metroidvania. Dandara. That's a cool game. Dandara. I recommend that. It's like there's no gravity in the world, and you stick to walls, so it twists and turns, and it's unique. And it's got a great. It had a DLC, a free content update, which was great. Yeah, Owlboy, very much enjoyed. I thought after playing it, I played Owlboy shortly after it came out, and I thought afterwards I was going to learn to speedrun it, but then I started by trying to learn the hardest goddamn trick in the whole run, which put me right off. And I kept thinking at the beginning of every year, like, one of my New Year's resolutions would be, oh, it's going to be the year of Owlboy. I'll learn Owlboy, and I never did. Of course, the Bird Boy VTuber recommends the Bird Boy game. Oh dear. Nice. I see what we're doing here. I see this, how this is going to be. I do think Owlboy is great. Difficult, not an easy game, especially that one boss in the ship. You might know which one I'm thinking of, but I won't say his name. And Metroid. I fucking missed one again. Time Spinner. It's a lot like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but you can travel through time and you can stop time. It's cool, nice story. And the dev Lunar Ray Games is making a sequel as well. Not sure how that's been going recently, but yeah, so that should be cool. I wasn't expecting it to have a sequel, but I know that's been being worked on a couple of years, I think. And Metroid. You know, we're talking about Metroidvanias. I like Metroid. I really liked Metroid Dread. It's not my favorite Metroid. I still think that goes to Fusion. I guess maybe partially out of nostalgia, but you know, there's something. I feel like there's something special about Metroid Fusion, and I really do like the SAX or the SAX, whatever you want to call it. That's a good enemy right there. Oh, had another little drink. Gotta keep my throat. Gotta keep my throat in good nick. I'm doing a lot of talking, and it's quite hot. So when I take a little drink, I looked slightly perturbed. I noticed the model doesn't register it quite amazingly. Platformers. Yeah, I like platformers. I really like the Sonic games. I really like both Sonic Adventure games, actually. A lot of people have, let's say, differing views on the Sonic Adventure games, but I like them both. SM64, I like Mario 64. Probably I haven't actually played Mario Odyssey. I really need to do that. Maybe I'll stream that one day, eh? But at the moment, of the ones I've played, I'd say Mario 64 is my favorite Mario game. Probably the first game I ever played, either that or Ocarina of Time. The Love series, those are indie platformers. There are 3 of them. They're little minimalistic. Excuse me. They're little minimalistic. Quite difficult, but at the same time quite lenient 2D platformers. And then the Playdead games, Limbo and Inside, they're both great. I prefer Inside personally, but I think both of them are excellent games. Stuff with a strong narrative, I really like. Which is a relatively recent thing, I think. I'm not sure I cared hugely in when I was younger, but in the past few years I've developed an affinity for narratives in games. What A-level is for you? Yeah, there you go. Stuff that feels like it taught me something, it teaches me something. I studied English literature at A-level, and there's a lot of like, oh, we can learn from this, or at least the way I was taught. I do kind of like, I do quite like getting a moral from a story, or some life lessons from a story. Nice to be able to feel like it adds something constructive. And like, I don't think a game is shit if it doesn't do that, but nice when you can learn something like that from a game. Use it to improve yourself or your own life a little bit, right? Surreal stuff. I like surreal stuff. Middens, that's an RPG Maker game. That is a really weird game. It's not horror necessarily, but it's strange. Yume Nikki, which is horror, and is the most open-ended game I've ever played, I think, because it gives you so little direction and so much to explore without any direction. Oh, took another drink. That was an interesting face. Oh, Sven. I'm sorry. I've been talking and haven't said hello to you, I don't think. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. I hope you're doing well. Middens Yumaniki. Ghost. Ghost is a it's like an arcade game. Kind of hard to describe. It's on Steam. The objective is to fill up like a field in entirely your color, but do it by like moving around a stage and firing bullets. It's strange. And this game, which I think, if I've got my wrong, is Katiol Nigori, something like that. A friend of Lena Boots, which is like an FPS of sorts. Well, I mean, it's first person and you shoot, but it's not like, oh, man with gun. You fire rakes or brooms, something like that. And it is very surreal. There are some other games by the same dev, name I can't remember, sorry, on Steam. There's another one I need to play called Saturday of Piercing Screams. Indie games. Yeah, I really like indie games. Like I said, I feel like the oh, excuse me a second. Sorry. God, he does pull some weird faces when I'm taking a drink, doesn't he? Anyway, I'm trying to stop my throat from like getting really sore, but I need to take drinks because otherwise my voice will get so raspy. Indie games, I feel like what they offer is, for the most part, way more interesting than what AAA is offering. Like, must have seen the Summer Games Fest, and it was like Dead Space clone after Dead Space clone, and there's nothing wrong with Dead Space, and there's nothing wrong with liking Dead Space or imitating Dead Space necessarily, but man, that was a lot of games doing the same thing one after the other. Not that it didn't look interesting. Like I said, I don't mind sci-fi or horror or whatever those things are, whatever you want to call them. But it was a relatively narrow slice, I felt. Yeah. Oh yeah, and now I also wrote a little bit about the games I don't tend to play. First-person shooters. I know I've just talked a little bit about first-person shooters, but Katiolny Gori is not your typical first-person shooter. I'm bad at first-person shooters. I remember playing Overwatch just when it had just come out. I played Diva, and I couldn't hit anything with the fucking spread shot cannon weapon. I'm bad at first-person shooters. I cannot aim. I suck at them, so I tend not to play them. And I can manage, like, if it's a single-player game, but I particularly don't play multiplayer first-person shooters for that reason. Roguelikes. Yeah, I prefer... Typically, I'm not against roguelikes in general, but typically, I prefer games with static worlds that are scripted, I guess, as opposed to things that are random. And part of that is because of the story element. I think I like it all to fall into place. I don't know what the term is. I don't know. I guess I like it when it's more crafted as an experience, but I don't hate roguelikes. I'm sure I will play some on the stream at some point, but I don't tend to go towards them. And one of the reasons for that as well was because a lot of the time in the past few years, when I would pick games to play, it would be like with a view to speedrunning them after beating them for the first time, and I didn't really want to speedrun something with random generation in it. So that was a big part of it as well. Endless score-based games, like I said, I like stories. Again, don't hate them. I don't tend to go for them. MOBAs. I'm not sure if I've ever played a game that counts as a MOBA, actually. I never played Smite. I've never played Heroes of the Storm. Certainly never played League, because everyone I know who has played League has told me, don't play League. So I feel like I'm gonna take that advice. I don't think playing League, good idea. Yeah, again, if you like League, cool, that's fine. I don't think it's for me though. Sorry if you wanted to see me stream League for some reason, but I don't think I'll. Ones with long convoluted rule sets. Oh yeah. I'm sorry to my friends who have to put up with the fact that when I try to explain a tabletop sim game to me, I lose focus so quickly and so easily. I'll take a sip. pulls the strangest face. He really does. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a lot of patience for learning really complex rule sets. So a lot of tabletop games, I'm like, I sort of am knocked out of them, you know. Top 5. Oh yeah, my top 5. At the moment, it kind of shifts a bit, but I did check this today and determined that this was what I believed my top 5 was today. So today, my top 5 games are Prototype. I really like this actually. I like Prototype 2 as well, but I prefer this one, prefer the first one. You know, the game where you play as a guy been infected with a virus. He runs around and he's got virus powers, can leap heights and glide and punch the shit out of stuff. That's great. I love it. Just give me a big city to roam around. Fucking punch the fuck out of everything. Great. Just that feeling of power. Wonderful. Not a bad story either. Game's pretty well put together. Number 4 is Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, I was scared of this game for like 3 years, almost, maybe 2.5 years. From when it came out and my friend told me, oh, this is what happens. I I couldn't deal with it, but eventually I started like reading about it to deal with my fear, because also, as well as being afraid of it, I was interested in it. And I watched a playthrough of a mod and I got attached to the characters, and I think it's a very story. Shout outs to Dan Salvato for his Yoshi's Story speedrunning, and also the fact that he cited Eversion as inspiration. That's a cool game too. And Sayori's Best Doki. See if that starts an argument. Number 3, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I played the shit out of this as a kid. I played the shit out of it, and I raised Chow like a motherfucker. I got through Chaos Chow. I raised a neutral Chaos Chow, a dark Chaos Chow, and a hero Chaos Chow. It's great. I did a lot of Chow raising, and perhaps we will come back to that on a stream one day. That would be quite interesting to revisit for old time's sake. Dip. Right. Number 2 is Mirror's Edge, which was the game that introduced me to like the concept of speedrunning, and also properly introduced me to the concept of parkour. Just cool as hell, running across rooftops. That's like, I'll never get sick of that. I used to play Assassin's Creed 2, and I'd run around the roofs. I didn't need to do a mission, just like doing all the climbing and stuff. That was good enough for me. I've become slightly more mission focused as a player since then, but and then did eventually go back and actually beat the game. But I like running around the rooftops. Good, it's good stuff. And Mirror's Edge does it like no other. And it really changed my life, I guess, because I would sort of do amateur speedruns of it on like Xbox 360 when I was younger. I wanted to learn all the cool stats. Cool. And now, I mean, obviously when you're talking about speedrunning, nothing quite like Mirror's Edge. Not even Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Yeah, I think if you were to talk to a lot of Mirror's Edge speedrunners, they would say, yeah, Catalyst is not quite my bag, it's not quite the same. A little truth from a casual perspective. I mean, obviously, it's open. Yeah. And number 1, if you know me, this is a surprise by now, but my my favorite game of all time is Amori, which also changed my life, but in a far more, I think, emotional way than Mirror's Edge did. Amy, yeah, Amori. I finished getting all the achievements in Amori last night, right as they put the game out for consoles with new content in it. I'm gonna wait a little bit and see if that update comes to PC before buying the console version. But even if they do, add more achievements, at least I can say like, oh yeah, I got all the achievements just for a little bit. Plan on playing more over summer. Yeah, I would definitely check the content warning, because it doesn't take them lightly. Let's say. But I think, and also that it's real fucking sad. So be warned. But besides that, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I think it's such a special game, and I think it is. Excuse me. Oh, this is I'm doing a lot of talking, I'm doing a lot of running my mouth, and it shows. Yeah, I think it's a special game, and I've been fixated on it for like 18 months. I first beat it. I first got to the ending on the 30th of January 2021, and I have thought about it every single day since then. Every day. Which I fixate on stuff, but that's a record by a long way. I think it's fantastic. And I don't typically like turn-based combat. So the fact that I like this game's turn-based combat, I think that says something. Though granted, most of my experience with turn-based combat was with Pokemon before that. I think random encounters really pissed me off. So that was good. But more, yeah, special. Highly recommended to you all, provided that you are 18 or above. I think that's probably good, and that also you check the content warnings in the description for the game, because yeah, you shouldn't take those lightly. Did I put anything else here? I put a meme here, yes. I put Pekora saying, very, very interesting. I was originally going to put in that space like a top 5, or like not even a top 5, just here are 5 games that I don't really like, but then I couldn't actually think of any. Most of the games that I play, I do actually enjoy, or at least think about. But there are many games that I play that I come out of thinking, I didn't enjoy that. I didn't really like that. I didn't feel like that was worth my time. Most of the time, if I feel a game is like that, I've given up on it long before that point. Speedrunning. Speedrunning is what I did before being a VTuber. Well, up until like 2020. Because well, no. Yeah, I did it on and off. You're gifting me bad rats. Okay, I can't remember what happens in that, or what that game is like. Or vaguely, I don't know. I'll find out. Yeah, speedrunning was my main sort of internet thing before deciding, okay, I'm gonna... it's bad and there's rats. Okay then, I see. So you're gifting this to me on the express belief that I won't like it? Absolutely. Okay, well, I'm down to clown. Let's go. Free shit. I'll fuck it. Let's go. Oh, you don't have to, but gotta fill out that bottom 5 somehow. Yeah. I'm sure I'll stream shit games at some point. That'd be fun. I mean, I probably shouldn't say that, as someone who's like worked in game dev, I shouldn't go, oh, this game is bad, this game sucks. But ones that I feel aren't aren't the cream of the crop, let's say. But games that I personally feel are bad rather than necessarily being bad. I mean, people like I'm sure a lot of people would look at the kind of stuff I've played and go, this is awful. What the fuck is that? Pigeon, why are you playing that? Why are you wasting your time on middens? That gun has an eye and a mouth and is talking to you, and now it's flirting with you. That happens in the game, I'm not lying. Why are you playing this? I don't know, I just sort of giggle and go, it's funny, it's surreal. Speedrunning. So here's a list of games that I have run. It's not what's the word? It's not an all-inclusive list. There are some that I've skipped, but these are the main ones I would consider. Mirror's Edge, kind of, like I said, was kind of amateur learning strats as a kid. Partially to get good times, but also partially just because I thought they looked cool and I wanted to play the game in the cool way. So I played a lot of that. I did come back to it and learned to kick glitch. I can kick glitch and move. Yeah, and I like, occasionally I still like going through it. Because, man, what a game. Lemma. Lemma's another first-person parkour game. It's pretty different to Mirror's Edge. In a lot of ways, but it is a first-person parkour game. And I held the world record for nearly 4 years, from between 2016 and 2020, and then new strats got found that cut the run in half, and now I don't hold the world record and cannot be asked to learn the new strats and go back to playing the game. I got Lemma into AGDQ 2020 as a backup run. Fortunately for every other runner, but unfortunately for me, I was not called upon to use my run as a backup. But I did go and hang out with people, and that was cool. AGDQ 2020 was a wonderful time. God, I want to go back someday. Now they've started doing them in person again. Yeah, good time. Also, going to AGDQ was what convinced me that I needed a high refresh rate monitor. Now I have 2 of them. They're not matching, which does bum me out a little bit, but you know what? It's alright. One day I'll kit out my setup, a completely new PC, get some matching monitors that are higher resolution as well. It'll be great. Cyclo 8. The Pico 8 is a fantasy console. You might have heard of it from Celeste. The Pico 8 version of Celeste is in the full game of Celeste. And the Pico 8 one came first. It's something called a fantasy console. Like a console specification that runs within a PC. And Celeste was created for a game jam. Originally, that. Cyclo 8. After I saw a friend of mine, SexRex, run the original Celeste at, I think, like SGDQ 2016, I was just watching at home. I went, well, I want to speedrun a Pico 8 game, so I went, I found this, I liked it, and then I did speedruns of it. And now it does have like an actual community of people who are a lot better than I am. But I'm the OG, which counts for something, I guess. Starlight. Oh, Starlight's lovely. So, I don't know if they still do them, but a few years ago on itch.io, there was a game jam to create a game with a resolution of 64 by 64 pixels, and Starlight was one of them. It was just like this point-and-click narrative game. I found it quite enchanting for some reason, so I did a few speedruns of it. And it was very pretty game, very short, but quite nice, and quite sweet. Anodyne. Yes. Anodyne. Originally, I was having trouble with the Steam Cloud. I wanted to speedrun this in 2016. And I couldn't because the Steam Cloud wouldn't let me load practice saves. And it wouldn't disable properly. But then I realised, wait a second, what if I get the itch version? Will that work? So I did, and it did. And yeah, I started running it in 2017. I have the 100% world record. I think I don't know what place I am in any percent. I was at one point third place, but I think I have been beaten by a few more people since then. Gun Princess Zero, another free game on itch. I like finding these little ones to speedrun it. Creating a run for them, I find that really interesting. Gun Princess Zero is a Metroidvania, just a little one, but a Metroidvania of sorts. And that was the biggest routing thing I'd undertaken in speedrunning, developing. I was quite proud of my work. I haven't done speedruns in a long time, but it's, I'm happy with it. Downward, that's a first-person parkour game too. That one's also quite different from the other two. Cool tech in that one. I got kind of tired of it towards the end. Also, like the day before I was due to run it at a marathon, I found out that the strats had been updated because they found new tech. So I ended up running it with old strats because I didn't have time to learn. Yeah, it was like 2 days before that marathon I found out, or something like that. And I don't think I've actually played the game at all since I did that marathon. I'm not sure, but yeah, not a bad game. I just decided I was done with it, I guess. Wotan came out on a humble. It came out on the Humble Trove in 2018. It's a little platformer featuring a little Viking guy, kind of. It's really cute, and it's quite like Wario Land in some ways. You interact with the environment a lot to deal with puzzles, and it's good. And I think Wotan DX Traveler's Dream is being made by the developer. Excuse me. At the moment, developer's name is Grapplebug. Yeah, there's a Discord for that game. There is a speedrun Discord for it, but there's also a Discord for the development of Wotan DX. So I think at some point, there's going to be a Kickstarter for it. I'm not sure when exactly, but the game is like getting greatly expanded from the original Humble offering, which is quite a short game. Rain World. I did speedruns of Rain World, and that was what got me affiliate in like late 2018. I competed in the mystery tournament, and I noticed I was getting close to affiliate. So I went, well, I'll just go for it. So I did. Rain World's a great game. Haven't really played anything else like it. And there is a DLC coming out soon, so if you do fancy taking a look at that, then yeah, Rain World Downpour. New areas, new slug cats to play as. Good stuff. Redo. Good game. A little Metroidvania. It's an unorthodox Metroidvania because you don't move around in it very quickly. It's not heavily platform focused, although there is platforming. It's like tactical in the sort of combat. You've got to know what you're doing and be aware of the kind of stuff you're aiming for. And it's difficult, but it's good. It's got this surreal horror, sci-fi post-apocalyptic vibe to it that I really wish was in more games. I've only ever seen it in one other game, and that game is not out yet. So, good game. Recommend Redo. Anodyne 2, Return to Dust. I speedrun it, but I also worked on it as a QA tester. Yeah, I sort of ended up being a QA tester on it by accident, but yeah, I then ended up being like QA co-lead. So that was great. I really enjoyed that. Good game as well, if I do say so myself. Dev Will. Another weird little game. It's like an arcade platformer. You play as a golem who's going to like meet his maker. Not in that's not an expression. He's going to meet the guy who made him and like defeat him. Broadly speaking, cool game. I worked on that one all on my own. I routed that myself, which I did for Redo as well, I think. Yeah, someone else did a different category for Redo, but Redo any percent I did by myself. Games I might speedrun in the future, because I do want to speedrun still. It won't be as much of my main thing as it used to be, but I want to. So these are games I've been thinking of speedrunning. Ebe. I wrote this before the remake came out, so maybe it'd be the remake, but Ebe. The Witch's House MV, again, like RPG. I'm interested in learning some of the RPG Maker horror speedruns. I might learn this one. MV is the remake, not the original. The original is the free one. Off. You can see a theme, right? Mo Astray, that's a different game. That's a platformer in which you play as a blob that can stick to walls and ceilings, and it's surprisingly sad for a game in which you play as a blob. It's a bit of a downer, that one, but excellent game. Cool speedrun. Might learn it at some point. Amori. I thought about this. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, because it's a pretty long speed game by my standards. Because I think any percent is about 2.5 hours. And also, I'd feel like I'd get like, emotionally involved every time I tried to run it, which would be a little difficult. I've heard, I think from one-shot speedrunners that it took them a bit of time to not feel like sad at the end of every run of that. So maybe, but maybe not, given its length and emotional difficulty. Andara. Excuse me, sorry. I'm really sorry about all the coughing and all that, by the way, because I've been doing a lot of talking and it's very hot, so I will be careful, and I've got to take a drink frequently. Hopefully my voice will get more used to this. And yeah, I got really close to learning this actually in 2018, which is when it came out. I was nearly done, and then I got to the last area and it was too difficult. But I think, yeah, there's a skip for that last area now, so you never know. Maybe I'll go back one day. Also, the new update might be soon. I say new, like 2 years old now. XO1. It's like a 3D version of Tiny Wings. You remember that for the iPhone and the iPad? You build up speed down hills and then you fly your little craft. Really cool game. Not very long, but fun as hell. Would be a good speed game. It is a good speed. 15 people run. Diversion. It's like a platformer that's also secretly, well, it's very cute, but as you play it gets kind of less cute. I like games that start cute and get creepier. Bit of a running theme, Amori, Doki Doki. Diversion. It's like a 4-minute run at most. Or I guess like the longest category I think is about. But for the most part, it's a really short run, and cool game. Like give it a go at some point. Laser Cat. Oh yes. I first played this in like 2008 on the Xbox Live Arcade, or maybe like 2010 I think. Yeah, I first played it on the Xbox Live Arcade on the 360. It's a little kind of Metroidvania game, and it's really cute. I don't think anyone's done a run of it before, and I'd like to give it a go. I like spent a bunch of time making a map of the whole game so I could start routing it. I never did start, but you know, maybe one day. Inside, or like Inside. I mean, I don't know what to say about this. It plays like Inside. It plays like Limbo a bit. It's that kind of game, and it's good, and it's cool. Something else, yeah. Like I mentioned all these, but it could end up being some of them, none of them, something else entirely. Because it's like because I can list them all, but I might get impulsive and start playing something else, and then I'll go, oh, and focus on that, and then I'll be playing that, you know. So we will see. Yeah, and that's a picture of what I was getting in my speedruns. I was getting records, but I'm not sure they were big shot ones, because a lot of them no one else was trying. Hello? How long have I been muted? How long have I been muted? Did I just mute myself? Oh, okay, thank you. Did I just mute myself? Like 2 seconds. Okay, good. I just muted myself to take a drink, and then I forgot I muted myself to take a drink, and I thought, oh shit. Have I been muted the whole time? No, okay, we're good. We're fine. Okay. Everything's cool. Oh, Jesus. That would have been a problem. Music. Let's talk about my music stuff. Oh, that I listened to. I accidentally went ahead. But yeah, I listened to the Beatles. Boomer. I don't know. My dad's from Liverpool. Like, what are you going to do? But I do like the Beatles. Peter Gabriel. I like Peter Gabriel. Good stuff. Kate Bush. She's back now, isn't she? It's in my blood. Yes. Kate Bush is back recently. I think she got #1 today with Running Up That Hill after Stranger Things, because that never got to #1 when it actually came out in 1985. So good on you, Kate. Good on you. And I don't know why. In the very, very small chance that Kate Bush sees this, Kate, I've got to be honest, I don't know why the public, and I'm not sure if the critics liked it either, but I don't know why The Dreaming didn't sell well. That's a great album. And it should have sold better than it did. Tough crowd though, wasn't it, in 1982? Prince. I'm a really big Prince fan. Have been for a while now. Yeah. I like that funky shit. Björk, we mentioned her already about the Myers-Briggs, but I like Björk. She likes The Dreaming as well, which was part of why I felt like I needed to listen to it. Because if it's her inspiration, then it's got to be worth something, right? So-called French touch. Oh yeah, it's a strange name for a genre of music. It's like Ed Banger Records, like Busy P, Justice, Breakbot, Sebastian, all that kind of people. Mr. Flash. They make like French electronic music, French house, that kind of stuff. Monsieur Oiseau as well. So he started making NFTs. So haven't not been hugely happy about that, but I don't know. What can you do? He makes films and music though, and they're good. Just a shame about the NFTs. Shall we move on? Michael Jackson. I like Michael Jackson. Not as much as Prince, if we're gonna go with that, like Earth War. But I like him. Good stuff. Daft Punk. There you go. The guy who founded Ed Banger Records was their manager in like the late 90s and through to the mid 2000s, I think. Chromeo. They make electronic funk music. Very 80s inspired. Good shit. I've seen them live. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Tame Impala. Good stuff. Like 2014, I think maybe I first started listening to them, or early 2015, before Currents had come out, and then Currents came out, and Currents is my favorite album of the 2010s, best album of the decade in my opinion. Fucking fantastic. I was less sure of it at first, and less sure of some of the tracks, but God, it's good. It's good. Rat-a-tat. They make like instrumental, weird electronic rock. It's cool. Yes, I like a lot of indie shit here as well. Although I don't know, I like some of the alt stuff. That's not typical. I like typical stuff as well, but some of the less typical stuff I'm also a fan of. Honorable mentions. Death Grips. I like Death Grips. People tended not to expect it of me, but I do. Neon Indian. If you've heard of Chillwave, Neon Indian makes that. Sophie, rest in peace, rest in power to Sophie. Who I first heard of, I think, again in like 2014, 2015, and Sophie did very well for herself. Good album. Oil of Every Pearl's on Insides. It's Okay to Cry, great song. Just Like We Never Said Goodbye, not on the album, but great song as well. Good stuff, very good stuff, and great loss. And Gautier, I'm not sure how you pronounce it exactly, but him, the guy who did Somebody That I Used to Know with Kimbra. Good stuff. Been 10 years since he put out an album, been more than that actually. I know he's been doing other stuff, but would like the album. But take your time, Wally, take your time. I like, genres, yeah. 80s pop, 80s rock, I like that. Like Living on a Prayer. I would imitate the talk box from that, but I don't know how my throat would deal with that right now, I've got to be honest. I like funk and disco, 90s pop, early through to the mid 2000s pop. I guess it's throwback shit. Like those singles, some of the singles that like Billie Piper put out when she was a pop singer and not an actress, not Rose Tyler. Because We Want To and Girlfriend. And my dad used to play Girlfriend on his cassettes in the car. It's good stuff. Hyperpop, which I think, yeah, when I first heard about it, people were calling it PC music because most of the people who were making it, I think, were signed to the label of the same name, PC Music. But now I think they call it hyperpop. But mostly, I don't like, people associate like 100 Gex, I think, with the name. I've never listened to them actually. It's mostly still for me the people associated with PC music, and I don't update my playlist of that very often, to be honest. Mostly it's stuff that I listened to from a few years ago, and occasionally I'm in the mood. Let's talk about, oh, before I talk about it, let me have a drink. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I play. I've played the drums for about 15 years, since I was like 10. I haven't played very often since I left school in 2015. It's a bit complicated, but I still consider myself a drummer, and I still very much care about it. And I would like to stream that one day. Not feasible right now, setup-wise, but one day. In secondary school, I played the violin. I was okay. I never thought I was great, but I was okay. I own that. One of those. That's a Q chord by Suzuki. You press one of the buttons on the neck of the thing, it plays a chord. You can strum that metal plate, and it will play up and down the chord, the notes of it. I like to learn more about how to play that, but I thought it would be cool. If you've ever heard of an auto harp, it's like an electronic one of that with a few more bells and whistles. I've tried out a few others. I've tried to learn the guitar, not very successfully. I've tried to learn the mandolin, not very successfully. And I have fucked around with an automaton. They're a lot of fun, but never. I mean, it's not very easy to create serious music with an automaton. It is hard to play in tune, but I have fucked around with them. When are we starting our automaton cover band? I don't know, as soon as I find my automaton, or buy another one. I'd like to get one of the bigger automaton models. That'd be nice. I think that's got a slightly deeper range. I've seen the guy who made it make a bass automaton. There's a video of it on YouTube. I think there's only the one. It like opens and closes its mouth with these like garden shear looking things. It's big, it's like holding a guitar. It's great. My main background is jazz. I played in jazz bands in school. I played in some school ones. I played in a jazz group with friends. I played jazz drum set and occasionally some extra percussion. My bragging rights. Here are my bragging rights as far as music, because what's a stream if you can't brag? Why am I saying that? That's not how any of this works. I'm very sorry. No, but I don't know. I'll toot my own horn for a bit. So I took graded music exams. I don't know if the equivalent exists in. I don't know if they exist in the US, but in the UK we have graded music exams. You don't have to do them if you're learning an instrument, but you can, and they will mark you like grade 1 through to 8, and then you can get a diploma in playing that instrument, I think. I did grades 1 through 7 before I stopped taking drum lessons, and I never got below 90% on any of them. I did very well for myself. I've played at Ronnie Scott's. If you know your jazz, you might know Ronnie Scott's. I played there on their stage. It's I think it's a pretty well-known place in the world of jazz, and I played there as a drummer, and that was great. And I did it twice. I did it twice. Probably one of the biggest in terms of status things I've ever done. I played at Ronnie Scott's twice. Drummed there. He's good stuff. Mental health work. I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I have done. Okay, doesn't mention that, but yeah, I've done work in the mental health field. I have Asperger's syndrome. I'm on the autistic spectrum. I also deal with those. I have an anxiety disorder. I have OCD. I have depression. I've had depression since like late 2014. I've been interested in working in the field since I was about 17. Since a few months before the depression, I guess. I've done a few bits and pieces, like I wrote some articles and such, but I also have given talks to medical students and GCSE students in the summer who are about 15, 16. I started giving those talks in the summer of 2019, and I did a few in person, then it went online because of COVID, and did it through Zoom. I do like lived experience work. I talk about my own experiences and what I deal with and try to like educate. I won an award for it in 2020 because I don't know, whoever the powers that be at the awards place, I don't know, someone saw fit to nominate me for the award and I won. I was the only nominee, but I don't know. I like to think that's because, well, I'm the clear only nominee, rather than like, we'll put him in. You know, let's think about it positively. So it's not going to be my main thing. My main thing is video games and saying stupid things probably, and the odd bit of music, right? But I would like to educate and continue lived experience stuff through this line of work, through Twitch, because I've seen other people on Twitch do the same for things they deal with. Not my story to tell, but Iron Mouse, for example, I'll mention briefly. I think it's helpful, which I have typoed there. I think it would be helpful. I think it'd be helpful, or it's help. I don't know. Yeah, but like Iron Mouse really inspires me with her when she talks about what she deals with, how people can help with that, and I would like to bring a little bit of that to the stuff that I deal with. So hopefully I can. Yeah. For the moment, that's what I'll say. I don't know how much like in-depth stuff about my life I'll actually talk about on stream, because it's a very public place. But you know, we'll figure it out and we'll see what we do. Now, I wrote a list of goals. I can't remember all of them. I can remember a few. They are not necessarily realistic goals. Some of them are more realistic than others, but some of them are like things that I would have to be doing real well to get to, I think. Stream/content goals. I forgot I put this. I'd like to be a streamer. I'd like to stream stuff. I'd like to actually commit to the thing. Like I said, I like to be consistent. I like to make music stuff. I'd like to do YouTube videos. Probably not to start with, but videos would help. I think with the discovery aspect, it'd be nice to do little bits like that, or little shorts, like Yuka Bear, for example, who makes a lot of little the odd cover and TikToks, which I haven't started to TikTok yet, but I think I may. With anything for a drop of clout. Make my first Twitch payout, which all of you have been getting me a great deal closer to, which I'm very thankful for, so thank you very much. But yeah, I got affiliate in late 2018 and I never got paid once. I never really streamed much after that, so you know, be nice to make that eventually. I'd like to collaborate with people. I really want to get to know people, and getting to know people is one of the main reasons I decided to be in the VTuber space at all. I'd like to make an a cappella cover like Smooth McGroove does. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to do all the harmonies and such. That'd be cool. I'd like to do a voice acted playthrough of a game with other VTubers. Now, excuse me a second. Now, what I mean by that is, I don't. Some of you may have seen Nux, Taku, I think, and a few other VTubers. They started playing Doki Doki Literature Club together and doing the voices for the different characters, each of them. And I really like doing that. I've done a bit of that with friends for some games, but I would like to, like, sit in a call with a bunch of friends, just go through a game and get people reading out the lines, doing silly little voices or whatever. Because, excuse me. Because I think that's a lot of fun. It's good stuff. I say good stuff a lot, don't I? Get enough clout to have viewers buy a cameo for me. Oh yeah. Like, I like it when you see VTubers get a cameo for their birthday or something. Like when Sakura Miko got something from the guy who plays Ned Luke, the guy who plays Michael in GTA 5. I think Nana's got one at some point. I don't know if it was for her birthday or anything, but got one from Gilbert Gottfried, I believe. Also Johnny Sins. Yeah, so that would be cool at some point. I'm not saying anyone's got to like pay out, but you don't have to. That would probably be like one of the less realistic goals. I don't know, but it'd be nice if I got to that point, I think. And I don't know. Probably as I play games, people will figure out. Ooh. And as I talk, people will figure out, oh, we should get him one from this person or that person or whatever, and you know. I want to cover songs and accompany myself, so I want to learn that key chord for that, or buy another weird little instrument, or learn another weird little instrument and play that, or even a regular, normal size instrument like the guitar. I don't know. Or piano or something, but I like the weird little ones, to be honest. Yeah, once I figure out the setup, I'd really like to stream myself playing the drums. That would be great. Yeah, at the moment I don't have the room or the setup. It would probably, in my current living situation, it would probably have to be an electronic drum kit, but I don't really know if I've got the space or if I could have the space. So we'll figure that out as we go. And hopefully, one day down the line, I'll figure it out. Yeah, I wrote that. Get fan art from Monocat. I've seen her do fan art of VTubers before, and obviously she worked with HoloLive on an official capacity, but because Amori is my favorite game, and I've seen I've seen her do like fan art relating to like VTubers once they've played Amori on stream. That would be really nice, and one day I do want to play Amori on stream, and get emotional as all hell. But to share that with everyone would be nice. At some point down the line. Drink and then. What else did I put? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Illyra Pandora is a Nijisanji EN VTuber. And at one point, a few months back, I think, she did a speedrun of Eve. And since I also want to learn speedrun Eve, this is a hell of a long shot, but Illyra Pandora, if you do see this, small chance of that, granted, unless someone clips this and sends it to you. But if you do see this, you know, let me know if you're down, because I'm down to learn. Like, you've learned Eve, I'll fucking learn Eve, and we can race. Give me time if you wanna speedrun. If you wanna race the remake instead, then fucking once I've played that, I can learn that as well. Let me know. You know, hit me up if you fancy it. But on the off chance that you do see this, and thank you for playing Eve, by the way, that was great. And speedrunning as well. I like it when, I guess, as someone who's focused on speedrunning, it's nice to see when someone with a great deal more clout than I brings speedrunning into the spotlight for a bit, especially for a game that is relatively niche. And I also know Plank a little bit, who was the world record holder, who came into your chat just a little bit. Like, he's an acquaintance of mine, kind of. We've talked sometimes. You thought I was done, but no, there's a second column. Personal goals. This is more like to do with my life than just for the stream. Let's try to go through them. I like to get more confident. I'm not naturally a very confident person, but I'd like to be more confident. Go on stream, making content in general. More confident singing. Did I mention that? I can't remember if I put that in the list down the thing, but I would like to, because normally I don't sing in front of people. It would be nice to get the confidence to do something like that. Use this to help structure my routine better. I don't have a very good sleep schedule, let's say. So it'd be great to learn. You know, it'd be great to use this as something that I can form my life around a little bit. Like, treat this like the day job or something. Try to make this a thing. Yeah. I can't really say career right now, because it's like that's not a simple thing. But I would like to do this on some kind of long-term scale. I think that would be great. Because I think VTubing and streaming generally combines a lot of stuff, or lets me combine a lot of stuff that I'm interested in and put it in one place. And I think that's great. Make friends. Yeah, like I said. Friends. I like friends. And I would... Yeah. And I would like to make them. Become a better singer/musician. Those shouldn't have been together. But yeah, become a better singer/musician. And educate. I want to educate people. Improve myself. Feel better. So I deal with my own shit. And hopefully, if this goes, or maybe even if it doesn't go somewhere, but if I can hold myself to this, I feel like I'll feel a bit better about myself, you know? That'd be great. And I've been preparing for this for a decent amount of time by now. So, you know, I'm ready to give it what I've got. Do stuff without compromising my mental health, yeah. The streaming game and the content game, that kind of world, can be difficult. It can be tough on people. And I would rather... I want to hold myself to... Excuse me, let me take another sip. Yeah, Yeah, I would rather make sure that I'm mentally like doing okay rather than try to push too hard and burn out. Because I've done it before with streaming, before VTubing ever was like a thing. There we go, I sat up. That's why we move the model around. Yeah. So I would prefer to put my mental health first, rather than put the content game first and then burn out and hate doing it all. And finally, and this is like the reason I'm here and the reason I joined, and it's a bit of a long shot, but hopefully I would really, really love to be friends with the people in this community who I admire the most. And I won't name any names because I don't want to put them on the spot, right? I don't want to make them think, oh, I better talk to him and make him happy, because I want to be like actual friends with these people, not like for clout. It's not so I can leech off their success or whatever. I want to know them and be friends with them because I respect them, and I admire what they do. And yeah, no names because no pressure on who I mean specifically, but yeah. So it's less that I often think about it in the sense that some people like they try to make friends for clout, but I'm kind of thinking about it the other way. I would like to have clout so that it is easier for me to make friends in some sense, because I feel like some people, unfortunately, it's just the way it is. It's easier to reach them and be friends with them once you reach a certain level of success. So I would like to do that. And that's not to say that I don't care about the people who are friends with me when I'm not so successful, because I really do. I'm really grateful for all of you. And I will do my fucking absolute best not to like use people as rungs of a ladder and then ditch them once I've climbed the ladder. I'm really going to hold myself to that. I'm really going to try to hold myself to that very, very hard. But yeah, unfortunately, you know, clout is a thing. Clout gets you connections. Thank you, yeah. Yeah. And so if I can get the clout that gets me talking to the people I'd like to talk to, then I mean, sure. Okay, I'll do it. This is my shot at that. So I thought, well, why not? Now, why I can do it now at this point in my life. So this is my go at attempting to do that and be friends with the people I want to be friends with, and make a whole bunch of other friends along the way, I'm sure. So yeah. So what will I stream? Oh yeah, video games, RPG horror, other horror, probably, platformers, Metroidvanias, Nintendo stuff. I'll probably get a capture card soon for the Switch, right? Surreal shit. I love me some surreal shit. I'll stream that. Maybe the odd visual novel. Maybe Doki Doki mods, but other visual novels. And indie games, because I love indie games. Indie games are my lifeblood, and that's going to be the focus. And not to sound like a hipster, but I don't just mean like the indie games that reach a certain degree of popularity. Obviously, I have to, for the most part, I will have to play stuff that people have actually heard of, but I would like to bring in stuff that everyone comes in and goes, "Pigeon, what is this? I don't know. I've never heard of this. What is it?" And it's like something I found deep within the bowels of itch, and that would be cool. I'd like to do that. Speedruns. sometimes has some big releases, because, you know, gotta be done. But also, there are some big releases that I actually care about. And I have a very big Steam library of stuff that I've bought and never played. And because of the itch bundles for the past 2 years, I have a bunch from there as well, actually. So yeah, I'll go through my great big fucking backlog. Death Stranding Director's Cut, I forgot to put that. That's not a joke. I want to play that. I want to play Death Stranding Director's Cut, and I want to stream it. Collab stuff, so this is stuff I want to do with other people. Just talking to people. I like just talking to people. So at some point I'm sure I'll stream like me just sort of chatting with friends, or VTuber friends I make, whatever. Co-op stuff. I'd like to play some co-op games. I haven't played a lot of them, not too recently, but I like to play some co-op stuff. Oh, I'm very predictable. Well, apparently not predictable enough to myself, but as I forgot I put that there. But yeah, I do want to play Among Us at some point. I know the collabs come around and that would be fun. I'd like to do that. And some stuff like it. There's that, what, Goose Goose Duck game? Project Winter as well. Stuff like that. That kind of social deduction. Ooh, who's the traitor one? When the pigeon is sus, yeah. Yeah. Some competitive stuff too. Alright, oh yeah. Not like in the form of like, oh, I'm playing competitive Smash. But like stuff where you are playing against somebody else. I like co-op multiplayer, but I'm sure I'll play some stuff where I'm versus someone as well. Not sure what, but we'll find out. And one day I would like to play Mario Party. I would like to stream Mario Party, because that's a game. Mario Party 2, good game. Stuff that's not video games. Just chatting, music, like I said, instruments, learning songs. Music discussion and analysis. Copyright might make this difficult, but I do like analysing music. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of an audience there would be for that, but I would like to do that at some point. I do quite enjoy discussing that side of music on occasion. Karaoke. And be like an okay singer, maybe, would be good. Drums, yeah, like I say, eventually with setup, if that works. React Andy, I'll watch me. I'm not above watching memes. What kind of like principled streamer do you think I am? No, I'll watch memes. Fucking yeah, I'll do it. I'll watch memes. I'll do video share shit. Like I said, I'll do video share shit. I like it. I like watching videos. Spend a lot of time on YouTube anyway. Why not stream it? Jackbox type stuff. I would like to do. Like Jackbox with viewers, such and such. Jackbox with other VTubers, perhaps. As well, actually, now that I think about it. Marshmallow Q&A. Yeah. If I can get like people interested, then that would be great. I'd like to do a little Q&A. I don't know how many people are like aware of me right now, I guess. So maybe I need to build up a little bit more following first. Talking about mental health. Yeah, I don't think this would be the main thing. I don't know how many streams I fully dedicate to it today, but it may well come up in other streams. It's something I think about, and it's something that I care about and I'm passionate about. So it will probably be discussed at some other stuff. Yes, the limit is the TOS. Not the sky. I guess maybe the TOS is the sky. I guess the TOS, the sky of. Some people gone into space then every so often, haven't they? Yeah. I don't know. I'll think of something else that I want to stream eventually. Point probably that isn't on this list. Go, ooh, let's do that, and I'll do it. So, yeah, I hope you're ready for that. The schedule. Oh yes, it's schedule announcement time. Now, this is when I'm going to be starting streaming. To start with, on Fridays I'm going to stream when I started today, 9 PM UK time, which I think 4 PM Eastern, 5 hours behind. On Saturdays I'm going to stream in the evening, or at night, 11 PM UK time, 6 PM Eastern. And on Wednesdays, 5 PM UK time, which is 12 PM Eastern, I believe. That's Eastern time in the US, by the way. Yeah. So, to start with, it's just those three, because I don't want to overwhelm myself while I'm still getting used to the process of streaming. But I will eventually add more. Once I've decided to add more, I will stream on Sundays as well. I don't know when yet, but I will. Then I will add Monday. Time to be determined again, but yeah, that'll be my schedule once I've decided to add more. So first Sunday and then Monday for extra days. The first week streams. Oh, I wanted to mention, I've written UK time and Eastern to account for daylight savings. So if we're in GMT in the UK, that'll be in GMT. If we're in BST, which is daylight savings, in the UK, British Summer Time, it'll be in that, and correspondingly, then it'll be in Eastern Standard Time versus Eastern Daylight Time. Except for the bits when I think EST kicks in. I'm not sure. No, daylight savings changes at a different time in the US compared to the UK. So when there is a difference between them, whether when one's on daylight savings and the other isn't, the UK time will take precedent, which I wanted to mention. But yeah, for the most part, for most of the year, it'll be like whatever time zone it is currently, daylight savings wise, with those little exceptions. The first week streams. On Wednesday, I'm going to start playing Tunic. I've wanted to play this for a while. I first saw it at like E3 2017, and then I waited for it. And I waited a lot longer than I thought I was going to, but now it's out. So I'm going to play that. I've heard good things. Excuse me. Yeah, I've heard good things. On Friday, I'll start playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I have played the original Stanley Parable, but I didn't get a great number of the endings. I did get the Go Outside achievement, which I was very proud of, and I'm a little bit pissed that the time it takes has been doubled for this room, for Ultra Deluxe. Figure that out once we get to that. First, I got to play it before I stop playing it for 10 years. On Saturday, in the evening. So I've played Eve before. We'll see what ending we get in the remake. I've heard it's a bit different mechanically. We'll see how we do. So, what does that mean? If you've been paying attention, if you've been taking notes, that means tomorrow I'm streaming Eve at 11 PM UK time. Did I get the broom closet ending? I'm not sure I did. Sorry, 1 second. I'll be back in a minute. Apologies, fellas. Let's get to work. The broom closet ending. The broom closet ending in E. There's the doll room ending. Broom closet one. Broom closet. I don't remember a broom closet in Eve. Oh, Stanley. My bad. No, I don't think I did. I was not very inventive when it came to Stanley Parable. I did. If that was one of the less obvious ones, then I probably did not get it. Sorry about having to leave for a minute. Shall we run the reveal again? It's Eve tomorrow. Yeah. So, I'll be starting to play the Eve remake. At 11 PM UK time tomorrow evening, which means, what's that? Refer to my own thing. That's 6 PM Eastern time. I'm not maths isn't my strong suit. Oh, what's 11 minus 5? I don't know. Can you tell me the answer, please? PowerPoint. Got a lot on mind. Gotta try and manage this whole enterprise. I'm kidding anyway. Yeah, so basically, if you remember when this stream started, yeah, sorry, excuse me. I've noticed my OBS doing slightly weird. I'll figure that out in a bit. Right. Where was? Sorry, I lost my place. Yeah, if you remember where the stream, if you remember when the stream started tonight, 2 hours after that. So it was at 9 PM for me tonight. It'll be at 11 PM tomorrow. We're gonna do a late night one for the horror. Hopefully it's not scarier in the remake than in the original. The original I didn't find too scary, mostly. But if they decided to amp it up, then playing it at night might be a bad idea. We'll find out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna quickly list some ways you can support me, because you know every little helps, right? Watch the stream, yay! Thank you if you're doing that. That's great. Sorry, that sounds like sarcastic. I don't mean to. Yeah, you can watch the stream. You can follow me on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. YouTube and Twitter are linked below stream. Join my Discord. That's linked below. Oh, now it's a good time. Also, hit that, which I thought would do something and did not. Okay, that'll do. Oh, it's broken. All the links are broken. Oh. Okay, I'll fix that bot command. But I think I'm so smart. I did them separately too. Yeah, you can go and join those. That'd be great. Thank you. That's like start to build a little community. At the moment, on my, well, I'm pretty active on Twitter. On my YouTube, it's all except for one video, which is a song cover. It's all stuff from like before I became a VTuber, so it's speed runs. So if you want the face reveal, you can go and look on my YouTube. I guess it's not that hard to find. On my Discord, it's kitted out with a bunch of stuff. It's not got like a huge amount in at the moment. It's not been very active because I made it years ago and then barely streamed, and then there you go. But you know, a boy can dream of having an active Discord server. So if you would like to join, then you are most welcome to. I can talk about a bunch of stuff. Clipping the stream was really helpful because I can use those clips on social media. It helps me know what people are enjoying. It helps me share what people are enjoying with other people so that more people can enjoy it. Hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Likes, retweets, and replies to tweets could got to game the algorithm. You gotta... Yeah. Anything for a drop of clout, eh? In current year, anything for a drop of clout. Share YouTube videos I make, that helps. Yes, thank you. Share the stream as well. Retweet if I'm going live maybe, or just say to... I don't know if people ever have conversations where they're like, hello friend, could you recommend any good Twitch streamers that you've been viewing lately? And then they like, oh yes, dearest friend, I recommend X streamer. And like, but if you want to recommend me to people, to your friends, say, oh, I've been watching cleverpidgeon recently, then you can. Thank you. You can subscribe, which a bunch of you have already done, and I'm very grateful. Thank you. And to the people who have gifted subs as well, thank you very much. Donate as well. You can donate. These both help me keep things ticking and make this more of a viable pathway for me to keep doing it. You know, it enables me to keep doing this. And eventually there'll be some other ways. I'm gonna make a TikTok, probably. I'm also probably gonna make a Patreon because Twitch is monetary agreements with its streamers aren't always the greatest, so it'd be nice to have Patreon as a sort of more stable source. I don't know, but you know, you don't have to subscribe to Patreon when it happens. You don't have to subscribe to Patreon instead of like subscribing here or donating here. It's like, it's up to you, whatever you prefer, whatever gets you what you want. None of this is required, I do want to say, especially nothing involving money. You are not required to give me money in any way, shape or form, and I will never I'll never require any viewer to give me money like that. It's optional. You don't have to, but if you do decide to, and if you decide to help me in any way, monetary or not, then I really appreciate it. I really do. So yeah, thank you very much. This slide is here to remind Pigeon to show off all his different alerts and rewards and socials. Yes. You want to see all the alerts I programmed, or would you rather discover them for yourselves? I mean, it's easier for me to show, I guess, because that means you don't have to give money, but you can also discover on your own if you really feel like giving money, but then I don't want to make you give your money. So what would you prefer? Does anyone have any preferences? Because I can just do all of them now if you want. Fun surprises? Okay. Oh, Amy agrees. Surprise. Okay then. I'll leave it to you as surprises. So yeah, there are different alerts for bits and donations. There is one secret alert for a specific amount of money. If you donate a certain number of bits or give me a certain amount of money through Stream Elements, there is a special donation sound for that. But you know, I guess you've got a lot of numbers to look through, but I shall leave that to you. Okay, great, I shall leave that. And also down in the description, down there, description, this isn't YouTube, in the bio there's a sound alerts box, and if you click it and you've got bits, it will play a little noise based on the thing. and I have priced them. Hopefully, I have priced them appropriately. I might fiddle with those a little bit, see what people. I don't know. Adjust those as necessary. I believe also, I don't have many of them at the moment, but I have channel points, and yeah, I do have channel point rewards. So there's a lurk notice for 10 points. You can highlight your message. You can do all the standard ones that Twitch does. You can, for 150 channel points, you can make me take a sip. For hydrate, basically. But I like calling it take a sip. I think it's funny. Almost recovered all the points you spent on. Yes. Thank you for giving Maddie sunglasses. I'm sure she would love it if she understood the concept of sunglasses. Oh, she's over there. Oh, Maddie. Oh, man, it's a hot day today, isn't it, darling? She's spread out on the floor. I wonder if it's tough being a dark-coloured cat because all the, all the dark-coloured fur. Right. She's very, yeah, she seems quite hot and bothered at the moment. I will tend to her in a little bit after this. But she's doing okay. She seems to be okay at the moment. But I will I'll give her a little bit of a closer look. Where was I? Yeah, take a sip. For 3,000 points, you can make me watch a video. I can't remember if I banned links in here or not. But yeah, if you give me 3,000 channel points, I'll watch a video of your choice. But it must, adhere to the Twitch TOS because don't get me banned. That's pretty good stream etiquette, not to get the streamer banned. Yeah, and I called the channel points Gumball Machine tokens because, like, the Vaporwave, Abandoned Wall vibes. I thought it kind of fit. I could have called them something like Pigeon Points, but I don't know. Gumball Machine tokens. Seemed a little more out there, a little more interesting. Okay, so you can figure out all those alerts for yourself. But that, I believe, is it. Yes. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate everyone who's come here, whether you're still here, whether you left. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much. And that's it. That's the debut presentation, which took a bit longer than I thought it would, to be honest. But that's all right. We did a lot of talking. It was good. Any questions? I guess you can ask me questions. Good. Or if you've got anything in particular to say, within reason. By the way, I hope all of the volume levels have been decent. How long do those actually last? Those emote edits? I don't know. But yeah, I hope the volume levels for everything, which is just at the moment the mic and the background music, I hope they've been decent. I did test them, but they should work. Oh, okay, 24 hours. Volume is good, great. Okay, great. Yeah, because I tested them beforehand, but it's always up to a little bit of interpretation. This is some public domain music that I got, and then I slowed it down a bit. The vaporwave vibe. I have a version that I slowed down even more, and I also have I also have the unslowed down version. I like this one. It's good. Yeah, are there any questions? Sped up version. I could make a sped up version. I'm not sure how well that would fit though. Maybe for certain comedic moments. I can't actually hear the music right now. I have the monitoring turned off on it, so only you can hear it. I've been sitting in silence for the past 2 hours and 20 odd minutes. But just with the fan noise to accompany me. I did turn the monitoring on briefly, I think just when I started the stream, but I decided I didn't feel like it was. I thought it might help like calm any nerves, but I then decided actually this might get annoying kind of quickly if I'm just sitting here listening to this. So I decided to turn it off on my end. Hopefully it hasn't been annoying for you. Yeah. Let's go back. Go back to this. Time being. Now I can sit up because I've got all this vertical space to play with now. Oh, Maddie. Okay, the cats are up. All right. You okay, darling? You don't feel that warm, but I mean, obviously, it is affecting you. No, she's fine. She's fine. She's up and about again. I'm holding her now, and she doesn't. Being held isn't her favorite thing in the world, so she's probably a little bit pissed. But Maddie is the cat, by the way, who is in the emotes. We have a lot of cats. Ow, 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 claws. There you go. See you in a bit. We have a lot of cats at my house, but good night, Amy. Thank you very much for coming along. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it a lot. See ya. Yeah. Maddie is the cat in the emote. We have one just of her face called Maddie, and we have one called Peak, which I imagined it as kind of like a lurk emote. I might have another like lurk emote commissioned, but Peak, unique. Her little face above a blanket, very sweet. She's a very sweet girl. She's a very nervous cat, very lovely. Can I think of anything else to do? I'm not sure I can think of anything else to do. So I may leave you here for the moment, unless anyone has anything they particularly want to see from me, or have any questions. But for the moment, I'll start looking for someone to send you off in a raid to. Ah. I know where I'm sending you. So, one of my friends from the speedrunning community Oh, she's not here right now. Her stream says be right back on it. But one of my friends from the speedrun community, her name is Amber. She speedruns Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And she is very good at it. And it's a great speed game. By all accounts. Or at least by my account and Amber's account. So I want to send you to Amber. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate that a great deal. Yeah, so Eve tomorrow at 11 p.m. whatever time this started in your time zone, plus 2 hours. 6 p.m. Eastern time in the US. And hopefully you can all figure it out for yourselves from that. But yeah, thank you very much. I'm sending you to Amber. Now please go and have fun, and please give her a lot of love. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, Starfax. Good night. Thank you. Yeah, thank you again. Is Amber back? Is Amber back? Yeah. Her stream says be right back on it. So please stick around for a little bit. Say hello to Amber for me. I'll drag this out a little bit while the raid timer ticks down, just to see if she comes back. I'm not singing anything in particular, by the way. I'm making this up. Yeah. Well, it appears you are going to meet a Be Right Back stream before you meet Amber. But please, go and give her some love. It's good stuff. See you tomorrow.